Hey everybody, welcome back to Inspire Me Higher. I'm in my on my lunch break right now. It's cold, so I'm wearing gloves. It's freezing out here. I've been thinking a lot about this. Have you ever been around people who made you feel like you couldn't be yourself around them? Or like, you're dropping things on the floor around them, or you're just anxious around someone, or maybe you feel like after leaving the interaction with those people, you just feel like so drained, or you just felt down about yourself and like questioning everything, questioning life, after you're around those certain people. I've definitely felt that before. That energy is not the kind of energy you want to be around. This life is so short. We do not want to be wasting our time being around people who make us feel bad. No. Like Doja Cat said, let's get into it, yeah? Like, you when you're around those people, you just belly laugh and it just hurts because you're just having such a good time. And you don't want to leave their presence because it's like, oh my gosh, this is so, we're clicking. The vibes are vibing. The click is clicking. Those are your people. Those are the people who lift you up. That's the kind of energy you want to be around. Let's talk about the other kind of person. We all know these people. They could be our family. They could be our friends. They could be people we know or people we work with. Like negative people. People who, they just suck the energy out of you. Like they have to tell you about every single bad thing in their life, or they complain about every bad thing in life. There's not an ounce of gratitude. There's not an ounce of like, well, I'm grateful for this. No, it's like, this person did this to me and my life is terrible and blah, blah, blah. I mean, granted, it's okay to vent. Like, we all have those moments in life where like, okay, things happen. We can vent to our best friends and stuff, but like not all the time. When you cross that boundary, that line of your friends being your therapist, then it's like, that's a lot of pressure to put on a friend. It really is. So sometimes you gotta like, take issues that you're going through to an outside person, like a non-biased person. Granted, your friends can be your emotional support. They're gonna be there for you emotionally, but they're not like there to solve all your problems. Like you have to take initiative to find the answers and find solutions to what you're going through. And sometimes there's another thing. Like, I know there are people that we meet that we don't know that they're negative, but there's just like this energy, like this vibe, like, okay, like something's off. We don't even know them yet, but like, I think those vibes, energy, never lies. It never lies. You can see what you need to see, and I think people show you who they are. So you gotta listen, you gotta watch it, pay attention, and believe it. Believe that that's who they are. And not to judge anybody. You can't judge people because we all have our bad days. But when there's repetitive patterns and like, when people keep doing the same thing, behaviors, it's like, it kind of turns into a pattern. It's like, okay, at this point, it's a behavior. It's just who you are. They may be a good person. Maybe they just aren't your cup of tea. Maybe you guys aren't meant to be like close. You could still respect them, of course. Always respect people, no matter who they are as a person. Because none of us have it all figured out. We all got stuff going on. I think it's important to be in tune with our bodies. I know for a fact that there are some times when I meet certain people that have certain energies and like I feel like I have to like prove myself to them, or I feel like a tension, like I'm in trouble. I know someone out there who knows what that feels like. You don't know this person, but you feel like something about them doesn't mesh well with you. And I have to say I'm guilty of falling for this trap, and as a people pleaser throughout most of my teens and 20s, and I would try to like people who are avoidant personalities, I would try to pursue them because I didn't know my worth, so I had to chase outside validation from people who would never give it to me. It's just a pattern that I had built as a teen, trying to please other people at the expense of my own self, and it's this form of self-abandonment. The minute I realized, hey, I am worthy, I am enough just as I am, I don't have to prove anything to anybody, to nobody. But that didn't happen until I became aware of how I felt in my body, the anxiety, the clamminess, being unsure of myself, second guessing myself also. So if you're around people who make you feel some kind of way, make you feel like you're in trouble, make you feel like tense, like you have to defend yourself, get out of there. Get out of there. You do not need to be around those people. When they say bad vibes, Good vibes, bad vibes, like, trust the vibes. You should feel recharged. You should feel uplifted around people, not that. And plus, you know, what's that saying? Like, you're the sum of your closest friends. I forgot, I don't know exactly the saying, but like, well, your friends rub off on you because you're around them so often. So you end up taking on some of their traits, some of their their quirks or personality sometimes. So if they're negative, you may end up being negative and pessimistic. Basically, just choose wisely. Choose your friends wisely and recognize the behaviors of the people around you and ask yourself, do I want to be like that? Do I want to be negative? Am I negative? I guarantee you there's so many people out there who are negative Nancy's and do not realize that they're negative Nancy's because it's just normal to them. We're, of course, don't judge anyone, but know what you can tolerate, and sometimes you gotta draw boundaries, and, you know, it is what it is. I'm sorry. Also, negative people, those people are vibrating at such a low state that they can bring you down to their level, and that's not good. So it's important to guard your peace. Recognize that peace is a state of mind that is priceless. You can't put a price tag on peace. There's so many things in this world to be grateful for. I've got no time to waste on negativity. I'm sure you don't either, you know? It's not always friends. It could also be family, and that's the hardest, I think, because family are like, you know, they're blood, but at the same time, boundaries. 2026 is the year of boundaries. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. You want peace? Boundaries. You want to do what you want to do without anyone else's opinion rubbing off on you? Boundaries. You know, if there's a party and there are people there that are negative or not your cup of tea or just don't vibe with you, you have every right to not go. Absolutely every right. This life is so short. The time that we waste doing things that we want to say no to, but do so out of obligation for what people think, that is not it. I promise you that. So yeah, if you feel good around these people, those are your people. Be around them. Limit your time around the negativity because there's a lot of that going on in 2025, all on the internet. I've seen some crude comments on social media, so guard your peace. All right. Till next time, my hands are defrosted, finally. All right. Bye.